Hey, and welcome to Friday night. It's episode 61 of the Fan Cast. I'm your host, Brainmuffin, the lifting nerd. Tonight, I'll be the drinking nerd. I've got a bottle of barrel-aged, oak-aged vanilla worldwide stout, 16%. This is 2018, and we'll be checking in Untapped very shortly. Find me on as Brainmuffin. Joining me tonight, all the way from somewhere deep in the heart of Texas, Tapadai.
Hi, my name is Tapadai, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Tapadai.
Hi, Tapadai.
And that other goofball is the man from the Northeast. You know him, you love him. But hey, that's your problem. Reality Spring.
If more people love each other, the world would be a better place.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. I think oh, wow, I was way too high. And tonight we are here to declare Sargon did nothing wrong.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, now they're going after the other one.
Which one?
Well, he got booted off of Patreon because, you know, he's supposedly an alt-right. You know, he's a liberal, you morons. And I joined it. What the heck is it called? Starscriber. I don't know what. Anyway,
Some guy.
It's something like Patreon, where you can have, you know, your own content and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm seriously thinking about telling Jeff, hey man, I'll just send you a check every month and just drop it off of Patreon altogether. I mean, the problem is they're afraid of losing their payment processors, because people, you know, these NPCs are out there running around irritating, you know, it's just a handful of people, but they're very loud. And so people freak out. And, oh my God, we have to drop people or we're going to lose our payment. But, but apparently people are dropping off of Patreon right and left. They are starting to lose some serious money. And because I think Jeff was talking about the other day, they only take 5%, I think is what he said, as a transaction fee. Where this other one takes significantly more, and it's out of Russia. This guy's running, he's out of Russia. So it's the Russian collusion. There's the proof that Mueller can't find right there.
Yep. We found it.
Oh,
right
finally.
Here.
Well, I signed up, but I don't see it anywhere. I don't understand. Ich verstehe nicht. Was gibt's? So how you guys doing tonight?
All right.
Pretty good. It's Friday, thank God.
It's Friday, thank God. Yep. When we've got a whole week's worth of interesting entertainment, news and other things to talk about. Rock Lobster.
Oh, David Applegate.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll be along shortly in the chat, and we'll
He's already there.
So howdy, David. Yeah, I need to actually change the thing. I wanted to change it to Mueller did nothing wrong. Oh, internal server error. See, I knew something happened with YouTube. All right, hold on, guys. Hopefully this won't screw up everything.
Oh no, what did you do?
Hold on to your butts.
No, it's not what I've done. It's YouTube is we've got an 500 internal server error from YouTube on my other page. So yeah, what part of what you know, unless you've done a broadcast thing that you don't know, is so we fired this up and link it in through Google Hangouts, which we're in, but I have another window with all the stuff for the channels, the YouTube, you know, for this channel, for the Fancast channel, and YouTube has gone away. So I can't, at least in that browser.
So what happened to the High Council that one time?
What do you mean?
The same thing happened too. They thought YouTube took them down, and I think some people said they could hear them and they couldn't.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Well, I'm watching it on my phone and it's still running fine.
Yeah, I can get to YouTube no problem in Firefox. No, that's my account. Okay, there we go. Look at that, Lisa Ann. You know, I don't understand the attraction of Lisa Ann. Her big fake lips ugh.
Okay, that was out of left field.
Well, that's what's listed on the Fancast. So on the Fancast splash page for YouTube, this is what's currently showing. So this is on the account. So the very first video is actually one of my videos, Atwater Vanilla Java Porter. And then there's a Supergirl. This is when Flash was on Supergirl. I guess it's 4 minutes of some scene there. The final battle of Justice League. We have Jeff's video from today. The shill media attack Star Wars fans again. That's that one that's been posted to the Facebook page group like 6 times. How we're all a bunch of misogynists, white supremacist, bigot, transphobe things. And then there's some,
true.
because we used
The
to
usual.
Right. And because I used to subscribe with this channel, when we used to record it and I was putting music at the end, I actually found some free music. Well, part of what you had to do was you had to subscribe, you had to put links in the description. So there's a Grim Reaper, which is actually a pretty good song, which I never use, but it's a pretty good heavy metal song. And there's some other stuff, but in the second row is I don't know who Not Sam is, but it's Lisa Ann. And it says, and a dash, I guess she's speaking about Charlie Sheen, James Dean. I got to hover over it. Banging Athletes, Sarah Palin, etc. SRS show. So I don't know. Anyways, this chick's hot.
So wait, was it you who was typing in Star Wars anal? Is that what you were looking up?
You know what? I was surprised that Raylo Ship is not. Or Raylo Shippers or something like that was not in the top 10.
You know what? That is true. Now that you mentioned that, it did not show up.
Because Ray was in there and Kylo Ren was they were both in the top 10. No, that I don't know if I've ever. I know I've never. I don't remember ever searching for a Star Wars porn parody.
He doesn't remember.
But I've seen him come up before. But I sure as hell wouldn't be searching for Ray. Unless it was getting.
For research purposes.
No, not even for research purposes.
Well, you gotta think
I don't
about
want to look at
she's all teeth, man.
A horse-toothed, flat-chested white woman.
Yes, but a porn actress playing Ray would give a better performance.
Probably emote more. At least when she's opening her mouth, it's for a reason.
Hello, Steve-O in the chat.
Hey, Stephen J. Was that Steve-O? Is that your friend?
Yep, Stephen Lazat.
All right. Atomic Fire 767.
Stevius.
Ray beheading video. Yeah, there we go. Still, I don't know. It's anyway. In this middle row, maybe I could just share my screen. But anyway, there's this Miss Universe 2017 Demi Lee Nell Peters. This is her swimsuit thing. I'm gonna have to find out if she's worthy of being a Hall of Fame at some point. So anyway, let's get back to the show. I just I don't know.
I thought we were doing the show.
We are doing the show, but
we're talking about World Class Bullshitters, the Patreon part though.
Yeah, but so so Sargon got booted off of Patreon, and I thought it was for lame reasons. And he's done a couple of videos, and I've been looking at the comment section. What people aren't realizing that this is not just Sargon; it's a worldwide effort. I mean, Dave, what is his name? He's Computing Forever is his channel name, but he's Irish. He's in Ireland, and he did a video that wasn't really critical of the immigration policy. It just kind of showed how the demographics are changing and what the projections are, and Ireland could lose. The Irish could lose Ireland. And of course, it went against some EC mandate that just got passed a few days ago. And man, like within 2 hours, it was taken down. Mm-hmm. So, and then he did a video later. It said, "Hey, my video's gone." So, but yeah, they're going after payment processors. And I really think what's going to happen is we're going to end up with decentralized payment systems, like not only Bitcoin, but apparently BitChute and stuff like that. They're all decentralized, kind of like torrents are. Decentralized, and then they'll just eventually have to shut the whole internet down to stop us. That's all I can say. So what did you think of Kendo's rant?
It was beautiful.
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
I loved it. We need to hang out with Kendo more. Just listen to him talk about sports.
Well, I don't know if I want to be in the same room with when he's complaining and drinking about he's complaining about the Kansas City Chiefs or something, but yeah, that was pretty funny.
And speaking of I do know the timestamp. It's the Star Wars month episode, the prequels, 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 49 seconds is when Dion goes on his rant. That's exactly when, because they were talking about me and they said, "Oh, I bet he knows exactly when it happened." And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, I do."
So that was you they were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
You
was in
see
the
my
car.
name in the chat.
Huh?
You see my name in the chat.
Oh.
Of course it was me.
Well, but that was after hours they were talking about. So I
Yeah.
listened to that while I'm driving in the car, and for some reason, I don't know if he stepped away from his mic or whatever, but all of a sudden he was quieter than everybody else, and I couldn't hear what he was saying. So it's like, what? So
I just remember hearing the Kendo just going off about the Kansas City Chiefs and shit. Or was it
sports ball?
Yep. Anyway.
Well, and he was talking about the I was yelling at Dion about it. That was pretty funny. And it's like, well, that's kind of the Bengals. I mean, every once in a blue moon they make the playoff. Well, they've made the playoffs a few times and they lose the first round, but for the most part, I don't expect them to do anything, or the Reds.
I don't expect the Cowboys to do anything. Everyone's all hot up on the Cowboys over here, and they're like, "Yeah, they're number one in our division." I'm like, "Who gives a shit?"
Oh, shut up!
Shut up! Hush up, Frank.
Sports is entertainment.
Go drink you some warm milk, Grandpa.
And we're not talking about
50,000 other sports shows out there.
I know, and they all suck. We're talking about the entertainment value of it. We're not talking about, hey, if they trade these players and they get that new coach, they're going to be going all the way. You tell me right now, Red, we ain't doing that.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back before Frank loses his mind.
That's because you're a lamus. Lamus anus.
Your anus.
It takes one to know one, and I am one, so I know who is one. Oh, got you there.
Oh, well, I guess I can't argue with that. You are an anus.
Yeah.
It's all logical. So, yeah, we don't have Waifu Boy here to tell us, which hot anime chick we have to put on the thumbnail today. So we're gonna have to do some, Caucasian woman.
We're gonna use live women again. That's so lame.
Again?
Yeah. Well, hey. You'll find out at the end of the show unless I put it in the description first and you read it by refreshing. All right.
It's turning into a show for normies.
Normies? Oh, I got to try harder. Maybe I'll just chug the 16% beer and then that won't be normie no more.
And they'll talk about the damn vending machines again.
Yeah. Well, the other day I said I had another topic that I can talk about when I'm drunk. That actually, the slowing of my brain down, so I only have one thought at a time when I'm buzzing, actually came up today in casual conversation at work. Well, it was conversation about work, but it wasn't like we were just shooting the bullshit.
Was it sexy stuff?
No.
You weren't talking about sexy things?
Not at work. That's how you get HR. That's how you get called in HR.
But what if you were talking about the sexy things to the HR person?
No, that's even worse.
It wouldn't negate it?
No, then you would get fired without severance.
Mm.
That's not cool.
I know, right?
Yeah. But the scarf, what? Frank's podcast monster. Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, Steve likes to think he's funny sometimes.
The Dave Cullen show. Yeah, it's Dave Cullen. But anyway, I've actually...
Oh, the Marxist, cultural Marxist. You know how many times he says cultural Marxist? A lot.
Oh, Dave Cullen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he and we used to actually have some discussions in the comment section a while back because to me, he's very quick to call he gets stuck on Puritan. So for him, Puritanism is anything, it's not just the Puritans like we think of the Pilgrims and stuff. And there was something that he was talking about. I thought it was in Ireland or England. And I'm like, that does not sound right. So I actually looked it up and I called him out on it. And the Puritans were kicked out of the country. They hadn't infiltrated the universities like he was saying. It was actually the people that were against him. But he uses that term for anybody that has a belief that they take to an extreme pure end. So it's like, yeah, well, that's kind of more of an extremist, or maybe fundamentalist or something. It's a little bit more than just puritanical, because he uses puritanical a lot too when he's describing people that go after others and stuff like that. I cannot believe I cannot find my sign up email This is really starting to piss me off. I did it yesterday.
Ooh,
but anyway,
Blake's getting mad.
Blake's getting mad. Oh no, man! I probably deleted it like an idiot. So, I heard a rumor that Sony's kind of liking their MCU Dance with Marvel because they can't make a good. Well, the Venom movie, I guess, apparently is decent. So, which one of you two said there was something about it? Was it Frank?
Frank.
Yeah, I've been trolling the movie web feed for a while now and getting some juicy little tidbits out of there. And the one I saw earlier today was Sony is hoping to extend their MCU deal, which means plenty more Spider-Man movies on the horizon.
Yay.
However, that does not necessarily extend to Venom 2. Which they're saying is probably going to have Woody Harrelson as Carnage and might have Spider-Man, but not Tom Holland. So whether that means they're going to bring back Andrew Garfield or recast somebody again, I don't know.
Recast. There's no way they'll bring him back.
Probably not. They fired his ass pretty hard.
From what I hear, yeah, what? And then his girlfriend dump him that same day or something like that, I hear.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
But I thought he was the cool Spider-Man, you know? He wasn't a dork.
No, he was no. He was the Hayden Christensen of Spider-Man.
Damn. Burn. Watch out with that burn, man. You almost got me on fire.
No, that's okay. I'm going there. Just, Whiteman on standby.
So you think this new Spider-Man will hate sand? What if they just hire him to be the new Spider-Man?
No, I hate Sandman. He's coarse and rough, and he gets in my web shooters.
No, I don't care who you are. That's funny right there.
That is. I'm sure someone's going to get offended.
Yeah, right.
And I'm going to laugh at them.
Holy crap.
God, that was funny.
Well, the dog pulled my headphone cords out, so I missed most of that.
That's okay.
All right.
And while we're on Marvel, because it looks like Tony Stark might be dying in the Endgame trailer.
Wait a minute. Before we go on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because you brought this up before, and I did. Man, I am really loud. Am I loud to everybody else? Or am I just?
No, you're okay.
Let me know in the chat if I'm way too freaking loud, and I'll back off, or I'll increase my volume so I shut up. What is it? What is the part of with the MCU that Sony has any being in? I mean, other than Spider-Man showing up in Infinity War. I mean, are they going to say that the forthcoming Spider-Man movies are part of the MCU in perpetuity?
Well, essentially, yeah. I mean, I mentioned this, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, but I remember hearing like a year ago, and it's proven true that there were going to be 2 Spider-Man series going, one within the MCU and one strictly under Sony's banner.
Right.
And so that's why we're getting the Homecoming on the MCU side, and we're getting the Venom / Spider-Verse on the Sony side. So that's pretty much what's happening, and Sony is trying to, you know, what's the phrase? Play both sides of the sheets. Maybe I'm mixing.
I think it's just play both sides. I don't think there's.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They're trying to.
They're hedging their bet.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
they're trying
in the trading world we call that a
cake.
straddle, I do believe.
Yeah.
So, which I am pissed off. I had a chance to make $600 in the market overnight, and I fucked it up.
You fucked up.
So I there's this guy Keith something or other. I buy his service, which was stupid.
God damn it, Keith.
He put in yesterday. He put in a thing for Johnson and Johnson. It was for the $150 January 18th call, and it was, I think, 2 something when he called it. I said, okay, I'm gonna take at least 30 cents off. It was a $1.90 is what I put in there, but I looked at the puts, and the puts were like at 270, if I remember correctly. I had to bring my spreadsheet up because I knew, because every one of his calls goes the wrong way, and I was thinking of buying them and I didn't. And this morning we had some news from that Johnson & Johnson has known for decades that there has been asbestos in the baby powder, and this lady was suing Johnson & Johnson over it, and their stock dropped a lot, and that put went up to over $9. So had I put in, even if it was $3, so had I done it and said I'm not going to double my money, I could have bought it at $3 and sold it at $9. That would have been $600. Dang nabbit.
Yeah,
so anyway,
could have bought you a new microphone or a headset.
Wait, they've been putting asbestos in baby powder for decades, and it's only now coming out.
The talc that they use
asbestos ain't bad for you.
Yeah, but it naturally occurs. See, here's the thing too. There's multiple types of asbestos, and the kind that is known to cause cancer is actually not in as much stuff as people think. But apparently, in the ground, the talc also there's asbestos that forms along with it apparently, and they weren't taking it out. So J&J tanked. Yeah, so I actually ended up, but I was an idiot. I bought the 190 and I sold it for like 14 cents or some bullshit. But yeah, this guy's calls, I'm starting to track him now, and I'm going to start doing, it's like Kramer. When Kramer was on the radio and he would say, hey, the such and such stock is a good buy, I would always wait for pullback, but I knew there were people that actually call into the show and say, you're making me so much money because I short every single one of your calls. So, and this is not a stock show. I know but this is about making money, dudes.
Well, that's just great.
Shit. Give us some of that money, man.
Now you got to sell Kellogg's fillings to keep the lights on.
That's right. Hey, y'all, Appalachian American. Don't be calling us ladies.
That's what? Mr. Lady to you.
All right. So, so that explains it. So go on with your in-game thing.
Okay. Yeah. So people are speculating because, of course, they will. I mean, we're no better. We got bullshit fan theories. But because it looks like Tony Stark might not survive, they're trying to, set him up as the Uncle Ben of the MCU.
But why? Because Spider-Man's already dead.
Well, they're going to bring him back, obviously, or else there couldn't be a sequel to Homecoming.
No, that's what's it called? That's a reboot they're doing right there. That's why.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, but because they've completely effaced Uncle Ben from the MCU, they deliberately went out of their way to avoid ever mentioning him by name or alluding to him whatsoever. I guess the fans want to believe that Tony Stark will die and he will serve as the Uncle Ben inspiration for Spider-Man to learn the importance of great responsibility and all that shit.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Dumb. I didn't see Homecoming, but didn't he kind of give him some of that speech in Homecoming? That's why he took the suit away.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that as if you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it. That was his whole message. That was the only thing Tony Stark learned from Iron Man 3.
No,
which
that's
is
dumb.
A little hypocritical, but
But speaking of Uncle Ben, since they have Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, who do you think would have been good for Uncle Ben?
Oh,
to sort of complement that, yeah, you know what I mean.
Michael Fassbender.
Doctor Strange.
No, Tobey Maguire.
Oh my god, that would
have been hilarious.
That would have been awesome. That would have been actually pretty cool. Like, people would flip the fuck. Jeff would have flipped the fuck out. He'd have been like talking about it, doing like videos on everything.
Although he's significantly younger than Marissa, though, I do believe.
Yeah, he's starting to show his age. It would balance out. He was a lot older than he was supposed to be in the first Spider-Man movie. So, I mean, he was like 30-something then, wasn't he?
He's 43 now. So,
Yeah.
Sure as fuck doesn't look 43.
He still look like he's in college.
He's sacrificing all those babies.
He's eating the stem cells like on South Park.
He's like Michael J. Fox. He'll look
hey,
17
if
until
we
he's
can
40.
take a political swerve here, it has been more than a week since we buried the warmonger 41. Can we put the flags back to full staff, please? Please.
Oh, there's still a half mast?
Yeah.
Well, he was a
Buried a
president.
week ago.
Well, I guess over there, because that's not like that over here. I haven't seen them at half mast.
All around here, there's still a half mast. So I'm like,
Yeah, here too.
warmongering, drug trafficking,
Well,
you know.
You people are weird, that's why.
All right. I don't want to go too much down the David Icke rabbit hole, but let's just, okay. So let's go back to what we're talking about. Hey, you never know. I've been drinking, so shut the hell up.
Well, how is that different? David Applegate says, how will Marvel do the Iron Man series, or will he be Iron Black Power?
Yes, it'll be Riri Williams, but she'll get recast as a middle-aged white woman.
Oh my god!
Oh, geez,
Pepper
people
Potts will be the
that.
next Iron Man. That would I would love for them to do something like that, or a middle-aged Hispanic man or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, transgender. There we go.
She gets Cecil in there.
We'll have Pepper as Rescue, and we'll have Ironheart, and they're going to have the all-girl Avengers, and everybody's going to stay home. So,
Yep. Stay home and bake cookies. Feelings.
And by that time, the Fox merge will be complete, so they'll have all those other X-women to add to the Avengers, and we're going to have the incredible drawing power of Squirrel Girl.
God, I hate the way that Squirrel Girl looks. Every time, I'll see people do a comic review, she's got that retarded looking look on her face.
Yeah, like classic Squirrel Girl, she was pretty cool. And theoretically, she took down Thanos by herself.
Theoretically.
Well, it might have been a Thanos clone, but the point is, she walked away from that encounter.
So she was somewhat decent at back then compared to now.
Nowadays, she's just the nanny for Luke Cage and Jessica Jones's baby. Although she is apparently also an active member of the Great Lakes Avengers.
Great Lakes.
Now, are you serious? She's
funny.
Jessica Jones' daughter?
Yeah, she's the nanny for Jessica Jones's baby.
Oh, for the nanny. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be weird if that was her daughter.
She beat out Groot and Deadpool.
Okay. Oh, speaking of which, there was some video that came up. I was watching on my phone while listening on my phone, and there was a Deadpool commercial that came up first. And normally I skip, but this was Deadpool was reading to Fred Savage, and they were reenacting the scene from Princess Bride. Have you seen this commercial?
Yeah, that's from Once Upon a Deadpool, which you were right. They just took Deadpool 2 and edited it and added 25 minutes of extra footage and made it PG-13.
So that's out already? Or it's been
I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming out soon. It's going to be out in time for Christmas at least.
Yeah, but they ended by singing Nickelback. I mean, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw the Nickelback one, but I think there was another one. It's kind of the same, but there's one. Yeah, but I saw the one about Nickelback.
And I must admit, I like some of Nickelback's songs, but I don't know why they get so much hate. So,
there's only one song I like.
Yeah, they had a couple songs I didn't hate, but yeah, they definitely get shit on more than they probably deserve. They're not that bad. They're just they're incredibly average. But as far as Deadpool, I mean, I'm not going to see it. I have no interest in neutered Deadpool movies.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I mean, he needs to be rated R, or else it's not Deadpool, and I'm not going to see it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there.
I agree with
I don't even have to see
Frank.
Thanks a lot, Lackey.
Yeah, everyone's finding their Lackey.
Jeff, I agree.
Is it pig's pussy pork?
He hasn't said that in a while.
He needs to. You know what? We need to I'll super chat and he'll make him say it.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you,
there
you go. I'll put it in the title of this week's episode. I've already changed it once. I had it as the NPCs took us away. That Sargon did nothing wrong. Hey, I'm trying anything I can do to clickbait the crap out of this channel. So you're welcome. So I even cross-checked Cecil on my post saying we're live, but no dicks and comics yet. I did send him a message this past week saying, hey, how about doing our show sometime? Would you?
Who, Cecil?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You
mentioned
him?
I would have
cool.
Cecil on a
minute. Yeah, because I would love to have Cecil on here.
And there is something. This is what I told Jeff quite a while ago when he first started, because I knew he was doing a fake voice, and when the drunker he gets, the less fake he gets. But there is something familiar about his backstory, but I can't quite figure it out. So anyway,
it's he probably watched that movie Wall Street.
Now here you go, Kendra Lust or Lisa Ann when it comes to old porn stars with big fake boobs, but kind of fat, so they have actual real big butts. You don't know. I mean, I'd take Kendra over Lisa Ann. I'm telling you, those collagen-filled lips just turn me off instantaneously.
If you're gonna go old porn star actresses, go full on and get Linda Lovelace.
She doesn't. They're old. They're in the business now, and then they're in their 40s. So, I think Lisa Ann's in her 40s. I know what's her nuts is she was on Howard Stern several years ago. Brandy Love, I think is her name. And she's married, and so is Kendra. So imagine, I can't imagine that. Yeah, I agree, David. Legion will be trans. Gender fluid, black iron heart, and a wheelchair. Squirrel Girl. Yeah, it's spelled, I don't think there's an I. I think it's just GRRRL. No,
it was always normal spelling.
Still has smaller teeth than Ray. Yes, I agree.
That was a good one.
And Ray gets puffy. I noticed that in The Force Awakens, and I really noticed it in The Last Jedi. It's like while she's training, she must thin out a little bit. And then when they must do all of the stunt work first, and then they do the actual acting later. And watch The Last Jedi and watch from scene to scene how puffy or thin Ray gets. I don't know, if she's having
I've already suffered once watching that the first time. You want me to do that again?
Leave the sound off. Hey, I watched it once and I was drunk off my butt.
I'm never watching it, so
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised you were drunk. You're probably always drunk.
No, I wish.
No.
Help me deal with life a little better. But no, I watched it when they did when they watched it on the channel. They did a live cast, and it was available on streaming on Netflix. And so I got.
That's how I saw it. I didn't pay shit to those motherfuckers.
But I tell you what, the scene between Luke and Ray in the and it's not in the temple, but in that whatever that room is, and he talks about, how the Jedi at the height of their power and their height of their hubris, they could not, they didn't figure out that Sidious was, plotting against them. That was actually pretty good. It was like, okay, Ryan, you have a 4.5 minute scene of actual inspiration and insight. Why did you screw the rest of the movie up?
Well, no, it was always
he gets off on it.
Well, it was always implied that it was always implied that Sidious was using the dark side to cloud the Jedi's mind, so they couldn't see what was going on right in front of them.
I know, but I will agree it was at the height of their hubris. I mean, they were, we're the Jedi and we're all powerful, and this is,
if it's not in the archive, it doesn't exist.
Right?
Yeah,
right.
I said, "Damn, bitch, why you gotta be so mean about it?" That's all it says.
Well, like when the scene where the database, it's like, but the planet's not there, but there's gravity. What could it mean? It's so funny because I think Yoda gets it right away, and it's like, you morons, and he turns to these little kids and says, younglings, the planet has been deleted, but the gravity silhouette yet remains, or something like that. And someone says, well, what if someone just deleted it from the database?
Thanks, producer's kid.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Obi-Wan. No, we're not saying goodnight. No.
He was killing younglings.
Yeah, but yeah, that was funny.
So you like laughed in the theater?
I didn't see it in the theater. I was at
Why
home,
not?
sitting in my underwear.
Drunk again, I bet.
Drunk again, I bet.
Yep.
I had to watch The Last Jedi. Of course, I was drinking. I think if I remember correctly, I shot several beer reviews.
We're talking about Clone Wars, not The Last Jedi.
Clone Wars, I haven't watched.
The movie?
You haven't seen Clone Wars?
No.
But how do you know about the scene?
The scene I'm talking about is in the prequels.
Yes,
the
that's
Clone
what we're
Wars.
talking about. Episode 2, the Clone Wars.
It's in the prequels.
I mean, the Attack of the Clones. I'm actually...
Oh.
You got me saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones.
God damn it.
Yeah. It's in Attack of the Clones.
Freaking Leif using his mind tricks on us.
Freaking Attack of the Clone Wars, so yeah.
Well, there you go again.
God damn it, you guys.
That's my Southern Reagan. Well,
I hope everyone's having a good laugh at our expense.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks.
Someone has to laugh at our expense. We can't laugh at our expense. Then that's like a double negative or something.
Yeah, we can't afford an expense.
Oh, that's for sure. Hey, you think you make good money? Have a teenage daughter. That'll test how good of money you making.
Just don't give her any money.
Let me tell you this though. Here's the great thing. We have a wireless. Fuck. We have a tankless hot water heater. We got it a year ago. So once it gets hot, you never run out. That's the good thing. The bad thing is once it gets hot, you never run out. So my teenage son takes showers that before I would just go downstairs and turn it off. Now I can't do it as easily. So yeah, my wife and I were talking about last night. It's like when the kids finally move out and stay out, our utility bills are going to like drop by 2/3. So electricity and all that stuff. All right. Okay. So one of you clowns also told me that Critters might get a reboot.
Yep, that was me again. Like I said, I've been all over Movie Web lately, and I'm getting all sorts of juicy tidbits to talk about. So yes, there is talk of a Critters reboot because reasons. Because as you so adroitly put out, everything has to be rebooted and remade and re-this and re-that and retard.
Yeah. Well,
so, I mean, I like Critters. That was a pretty decent movie for the time. I mean, it was pretty goofy, obviously, but it's cool.
Now, which one did they have the centerfold in it?
The what?
Well, one of the two, I think it's the second one, when they come back and one of the aliens that takes the form of a centerfold and the staple pops out of her, which is stupid because in a Playboy centerfold, there is no staple in the belly button, but that's okay.
Oh,
I think it's Critters.
I guess I only saw the first one.
I only saw the first two. Because that's the thing, too, is they got dumb.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't exactly brilliant to start with, but...
No, definitely not. But it was fun. It was dumb fun.
Right. Because the first one, didn't they, like, destroy the home and all that? And that's when the mother went all hysterical. And then once they defeated them, they like, rebuilt. They shot their magic ray down and it rebuilt the stuff.
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, it came out 32 years ago. So 1986, the year I graduated high school. So
they didn't have movies in 1886. Come on.
It was a bit long time ago, if I would say to that.
It wasn't. They didn't have talkies back then. Come on.
They had moving pictures.
Well, because
the pictures.
Oh, Billy Zane. Billy Zane was in Critters. Oh my god.
Yeah, that I knew.
Yeah,
the greatest actor of all time. And Dion got to hug him.
I was there for that. I saw that live and in person.
Man,
that was funny. Yeah, and the guy from Terminator when he went down that aisle. Well, yeah, Lori.
You mean the guy from Aliens?
No.
Yeah, he was from Aliens.
Oh, he was in Aliens.
Yeah, he was Bishop.
Yes, but in Terminator, he was the police captain or something.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like this part in there. He's like, "I look like shit, boss." Like your mama. That's what he counters.
Yeah,
with
Lori
that
Petty was laughing. I mean, and yeah. Well, did you guys? Do you know the part where he walks up to Shannon Doherty?
No.
All right, so
Wait.
Shannon, because she's suffering with cancer or something, and Lori Petty must have something too. But for whatever reason, Shannon was standing out in front of her table, so she was kind of in the hallway and had this long line of people waiting for her. And so he goes and talks to, what's the guy's name from Terminator?
Lance Henriksen.
Lance, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So because basically he goes around the room. Well, we went down because Billy Zane was down the aisle from us, and he had an area, and he had a high table that he was standing at, and that's where, and he saw Dion coming, and actually they made eye contact, and he kind of pointed at him, and then we went away from the celebrities, went through a lot of the various booths and stuff where you can get, all kinds of interesting crafts and things, and talk to people, and they're saying, hey, I lost a bet. And then we went down the back row where he was, and Shannon's just standing out kind of in the middle of stuff. And he walks up to Shannon, and then he's like, pretends like she's just somebody, and looks at the line and says, "Are you all here for me?" It was pretty funny. She kind of played along, but she didn't play along as well as Billy Zane. And then that's when Dion was like, okay, it's nice talking, and he just went on. But it was pretty was pretty funny. So, it was a good time. We did that at the end. I think if he ever does that again within the turkey suit, it's got to be in the last couple hours, when most of the people have gone, the crowd is hushed, people are kind of tired, and they need that little lift to get them through the end. But that was pretty good, because we also went outside, and there were some it was outside the main area, kind of in the hallway. There were in like the foyer, if you will. There were several other. That's where Diamond Dallas Page and some other people were. Serena Vincent was out there, and they didn't really react, but they were, a good 20 feet away. But some other cosplayers did. And if anybody has seen the live stream, earlier on in that live stream, when he meets the person doing not Jason, who's that, the guy from Halloween, Michael Myers, guy was cosplaying. That was completely unplanned. He just they did that. That guy, or whoever, well, it could have been a girl, I guess. Whoever was behind the mask just played along and did a really good job. So that was really that was spur of the moment and spontaneous. But yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know if Dion's going to do. I don't even know if he's going to be here for Horror Hound when it's in Cincinnati in March, I think. So,
well, if he does do it again, someone definitely needs to dress up as a jar of mayonnaise, and he pulls them around on a leash.
Maybe I'll dress up as a jar of mayonnaise.
There you go.
Because I'll be here. I believe Nick's going to be up for that. I don't know if Dion's going to be here, but that would be funny.
That's what I was thinking when I saw it.
Yeah. Well, Nick has to pull both of us around, actually, because it's Nick it's the turkey with a jar with the mayonnaise.
There you go.
Like roasted turkey leg and mayonnaise. That's some good eating right there.
It's pretty tasty. Yeah. Hello, Grim Falcon.
He's the hillbilly last Samoan.
Because they all had the good sense to sit down.
He did grow up in Gatlinburg, so yeah, that was
funny I was
too.
On
the hillbilly hipsters. That was funny. I told my wife that she laughed. That was pretty funny because we used to live in Knoxville.
And where'd you say?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Actually, technically, we done lived in what they call Louisville. We got married and we had an apartment over in Blount County, right across the line from Knox County. And it's a finger of it's not the Little Tennessee. I forget the name of that daggone river that went by where we done lived. And Louisville is spelled Louisville. Louisville, Tennessee. Now, don't be confusing it with Louisville, Kentucky. If you say Louisville, Tennessee, them good old boys, well, they'll correct you real nice, like, and they'll be pretty polite the first time. But if you do it twice, they ain't gonna look at you very good, and you might get hit right across the face, right across the nose.
All right, Cletus, are we back yet?
Are we back yet? Well, to hell with you. I'm going to give you my address from when I done lived there. It was 104 Manor Way. It's still there, but, I don't know if it technically is Louisville, Tennessee, but that was our post office, and it was like a long way away. 104 Manor Way, apartment H. Now, how come I can remember that from all them years ago? I don't know.
Drunken recall.
Probably is. Where we lived for the first 3.5 years of our marriage. And we had the best apartment dog, and then we got a house, and she got killed a year later.
Damn. That got dark.
Yeah, it did. I mean, that was a horrible 3 or 4 days for me. It really was. Well, shit. Google won't tell me what that is, even if I zoom in. Fuck that.
I was thinking about it, though. You know how they have that Google Home thing now? They ask facts about or whatever. I'm thinking, I guess they should have called that Google the replacement Dan Kane. Remember, he used to be the fact checker.
Oh yeah.
So now that's what they should just call it. Google say, okay, replacement Dan, what's so and so?
Yeah, it's called the Little River, apparently. It flows.
Imagine it.
Huh? Yeah. Well, it flows. Yeah. Does it? What is this one? Is this the Little? I think it flows. No. It just flows into the Tennessee River. The Little Tennessee is further down. Yeah. So here's a little bit of useless trivia for you. The Tennessee River used to where the headwaters was considered where the Little Tennessee flowed into the Holston River. But when the Tennessee Valley Authority decided to make their headquarters Knoxville, they couldn't have the river flowing by be the Holston. So they said, you know what? Where the Holston meets the French Broad, that's where the Tennessee River starts. So, yeah, with these rivers, it's pretty arbitrary. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Useless trivia for the day. You are welcome. Wait a minute. Wait, yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to get on a rant and say, thank you. My name is EVS. I watch movies, so you don't have to. I can't wait to meet him in Chicago. It's going to be awesome.
Shit.
They're gonna go.
That's gonna be awesome. I wish I could get that. That's what I wish I could make it to.
Yeah, they're like, okay. They're like, do you have a channel? Yeah, I got 700 viewers. 700 subscribers. So anybody listening, please go to my channel and subscribe because I need your help.
All two of you.
All two of you. Hey, I tell you what. There is no doubt in my mind that the biggest hindrance of my channel is because I do beer reviews, and that's sin to be drinking on camera. We can't have that. That is not advertiser friendly.
So then what you should do is every time you're about to take a sip, edit in like a picture of something completely family friendly, and then cut back to you like putting the drink down and burping.
Right. And here's some bunnies for you.
Yeah, see, some frolicking kittens or a nice potted plant or
squirrel on water skis.
That picture, that war picture of the guy holding a gun to that other guy's head,
or no, he cuts to was it Bud Dwyer just before he kills himself?
Talk about getting dark.
The tanks in Tiananmen Square, just family friendly stuff.
I tell you what, that's something that I don't think is going to happen again in our lifetime in China. Not with the stuff that they're doing with the social, what are they calling it? The social, your social score, where they're looking at what the shit you say online and then affect your employment and all that other stuff.
Yes. Pretty bad over there.
There's a beer and wine review zine called Fuggles. Is that named after the hops?
Fuggles?
That's a British hop. Huh?
Did you say Fuggles?
I actually have a pale ale that I made years ago called Cluster Fuggles.
That's awesome.
Because and I use cluster. If I remember correctly, somewhere I've got this recipe, but I started. It's the 2 hop variants that are in it, and I started with cluster, and I used that for my bittering hops, and then about 40 minutes into the boil, I put a little bit of cluster and fuggles in there, and that starts to get into kind of the flavor hops, and then it ends with fuggles in the aroma, and then fuggles in the secondary. And I called it cluster fuggles. And then somewhere along the line, I did a search like a couple of years after I'd made it, because I need to find that recipe and then convert it to all grain. But there was a brewer of some sort, craft or otherwise, that did have a cluster fuggles beer, but it didn't last very long. The brewery didn't either. It's like from years ago, but yeah, that's what I called it, cluster fuggles. Brainmuffin's Beer Kitchen, for those who are listening, if anyone is on Untapped, Brainmuffin's Beer Kitchen is where you'll find my various homebrews. And with my new job, where I am, there is a guy who's a homebrewer. He's not very good yet, but he's got a lot of potential. And so I'm hoping that after the new year, I can get back to bring him some homebrew that's pretty good as opposed to what he's making. So anyway,
so.
I think
So what's the next topic?
The Mason-Dixon line is what separates Maryland from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I had one last piece of news here.
Only one? My notes said 6.
Well, we've kind of covered them. We went through them pretty quick.
Well, we haven't covered everything. Go ahead, Frank. Tell us.
All right, thank you very much. The last piece of news I have, and it's one that's very dear to my heart, Legendary Pictures has signed a deal to team up with Troma to reboot the Toxic Avenger.
Wow.
Okay, so
Never saw it.
I know what Troma is, but what's Legendary Pictures?
Legendary, they're the ones putting out the new Godzilla.
So is this we get $100 million Toxic Avenger?
I'm sure hoping so.
Well, can you tell us about Toxic Avenger?
Isn't 2/3 of the fun the campiness of Troma?
Yes. I mean, they're still bringing in Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hertz.
Oh, okay.
They haven't announced anything beyond the fact that the deal has been agreed to. So there's no release date. There's no cast. There's nothing. So at this point, everything is completely up in the air, which could be troubling because in today's climate, Melvin could very easily be a young trans person, which would explain why he was wearing the ballerina tutu before falling in the toxic waste.
Right.
What?
You never saw the original?
That's what I was saying. Explain it to me. I've never seen it before.
Okay, in the original Toxic Avenger, this super dorky guy named Melvin Ferd, who was a janitor at the Tromaville Health Club, who was constantly bullied by the gang of the bad kids in town, and they decided to play a cruel trick on him, where one of the girls in the gang convinces him that if he will put on this pink leotard and tutu and meet her down by the pool, she'll have sex with him, and she shows him her tits to entice him. So he agrees to do this. So he goes down to the pool, all the lights are off, and he thinks he finds her, and he starts kissing her and talking about how happy he is. Then they turn on the lights, and everybody in the health club is there to see him making out with a sheep.
Ugh.
So of course he's horrified, and they chase him out laughing at him while he's screaming and crying, and he throws himself out of a window. And meanwhile, a truck carrying open barrels of toxic waste is driving by the street below. So he lands in one of these barrels. And then he runs off in fire, goes home, hops in the bathtub, and that's where he mutates into the Toxic Avenger.
Okay. And what, does he get revenge on them?
Yes, and it's awesome because in true Troma fashion, all of the kills are incredibly gory and drawn out and over the top.
Smells like a watch party.
Definitely. These movies are fucking phenomenal. The second and third movies, however, are completely different. They change his last name for some reason. They change his voice actor, and they send him off on this crazy adventure to fucking Japan. But then in the fourth movie, it goes back to how things were in the first film, and goes back to the original tone. Mm-hmm. And there hasn't been anything more about Toxie for a long time. So if they're going to reboot this and bring it back and become like a new series, I'd check it out. Sad to say, I haven't been excited or happy or looking forward to anything for a long time now. I haven't gone to the theater in a long time. Not even for the Marvel movies, and I still kind of like those.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that. There's that on the horizon.
Think it's on YouTube?
Maybe.
I'll try to see if I can find it.
I mean, you're definitely going to find a heavily edited version. There was an unrated version where the bad kids are driving around town and hitting people with their car, and they crush a kid's head under the tire.
Damn.
That was edited out of most versions. So yeah, if you find a version, try to find the director's cut.
Okay. I will do that.
But yeah, Toxic Avenger was a great film. It was the flagship movie of Troma, and Toxie became the mascot for the company. Still is.
What other movies were there? Troma.
Troma? Oh, geez. They've put out so many films, it's impossible to list them all. They had Tromeo and Juliet and the Class of Nukem High series. And they had Poultrygeist.
We got BC Butcher. We got Beware Children to Play, Blood Junkie. just look at Troma Entertainment or Troma Films. Just Google it.
A Nymphoid Barbarian and Dinosaur Hell.
Although I don't think Nick likes them. I think Nick kind of poo-poos them for some reason. But the Toxic Avenger is pretty wild.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen it, but I know somebody that the guy had a cutout. He got it from one of the local video stores, had it. A cutout of Toxic Avenger, and it was the last person I would expected to have it, and it was on their front porch, and I was kind of dating his daughter at the time, and I showed up and I'm like, why is it's like, and this guy was a professor at a Bible college, and I was like, he just likes the character. He just liked the character. He just thought it was just goofy, is this because he carries a mop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was a janitor. Yep.
Right. So that's his weapon,
And then there was the cartoon series.
Oh,
and I actually found a couple of the toys from that series at the dump, and I still have them somewhere.
At the dump?
Yeah, they were just in this box of random stuff that somebody had taken to the dump.
Oh wow!
The transfer station. There's no landfill dumps anymore, but you go to the recycling station,
right?
And there's always that shed where people drop things off that they don't want, and somebody else.
Underneath was a bunch of Ray action figures from Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
No, I would have left those.
Yeah, they ain't worth 2 cents.
True story. I actually bought 3 different Ray figures when they came out, and kept them in the package because at the time I was under the delusion that they were going to be worth money one day.
Oh yeah. What do you mean, like when the Force Awakens came out?
Yeah. And as time went by and the realization hit, this movie is garbage and the merchandise is garbage and this is never going to be worth anything. So I gave them to my neighbor's 7-year-old little girl, and she was happy. So I'm like, great, somebody gets to enjoy this piece of shit.
Although here's what's pretty funny though. Probably going to happen. But because there's so much of this crap and they can't sell it, eventually this stuff's going to be tossed. A lot of people are going to, do like EVS and open the boxes or give it to their kids. 40 years from now, when all the Ray action figures that people did play with have been destroyed and they're all in landfills, the 12 people who kept them, they'll be worth something.
Yeah.
And that'll be the thing they'll be saying. This action figure was so hated back in the day. You know, back in 2015, people were a bunch of retards. They didn't understand what they had. And now here it is 50 years later. You can't find any of these. And if you've got one in the box and it's an original and you can verify that it's an original, it'll be the futures version of Antiques Roadshow. Oh my God, you've got a seal of authenticity, you've got a letter, you've got all this chain of evidence. This thing is worth $10,000. Well, 10,000.
So
probably more
people
like
in the future are gonna have
40,000.
accents, those funny accents.
I don't even know what accent.
They kept it safe in the back of the trailer for all them years.
I can't even feel my toes. Did I tell you this beer was 16% and I've been chugging it pretty hard?
Send me some of that beer.
It has got alcohol warming and everything. It's actually kind of bitter because of the alcohol. If I was to rate this beer, I'd give it like a 4 because it's not well balanced and it's like they done fermented too fast, so it's got too much alcohol warming, but part of that's because they put it in barrels and they let it age, and so they water, it gets concentrated when it's in them barrels. I have no freaking clue what accent that is. Somebody did a thing with the ET cartridges. I think that's somewhat of a misnomer, but that's funny.
No, that was confirmed. They were buried in a landfill because.
But I will say this: that ET, that game really did. So I understand it was on 2600, but that game was horrible.
I've played it,
and if you put all Z's anymore in the comments, Frank, I'm gonna mute you. That's like the 4th time you've done it. As soon as he starts talking, they got all Z's in the comments. I mean, you guys may not, you may not think I know where we are with the topics, but I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you were there, right? For all of them topics
at the beginning when it all started.
You invented the word.
God
topic.
said, "Let there be," and boom, there was.
Anyway, so the next topic.
Speaking of which, we did have I forget where, but we did have a premiere of a movie with Jason Momoa. Right? Did I get that right? Or Momoa?
He's Mimosa. I call him Mimosa.
Yeah.
Jason Mimosa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mimosa.
Let me tell you this. Back in the 70s, with Super Friends, Aquaman was gay and no one cared. But now we got a movie.
And he's a bro now.
He's a bro. He's Samoan. And this movie actually may not suck, which for a DC movie might be, a bizarre thing to happen.
It's hitting pretty good in China.
Yeah. They didn't
China.
They didn't boot it out in what? How long was The Last Jedi in China? 4.5 days?
Not even a week. I know that much.
Yeah. Because it was beat by the 3rd sequel to some like rom-com or something.
That was an action movie, some local action movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it's like 9 people showed up and said, "These movies suck. We don't want it in our country."
Yeah, yeah. Star Wars showed for like a minute in China. Like, nope, no, thank you.
I'm glad somebody is, not hip to be square. So, Aquaman, you guys are gonna see it? Not see it?
Seaman and his faithful sidekick Swallow.
I'll just wait for my brother to buy it and I'll watch it then.
Hey, when are you hitting 50? Because I'm coming up for your birthday. How many years?
Me?
Yeah.
Another 10. I'm turning 40 in a couple of weeks here.
Oh, I thought you were older than that. Shit.
I thought he was older too.
Like it.
I thought you were like mid-40s. Oh, well.
No. Here's the funny question. Why is he called Aquaman when he's not Spanish or Hispanic?
Or would you really wanted to call him Waterman?
Well, he could be like Hydro Man or Water Man or Ocean Man or something.
Ocean Man. That sounds dumb. That
I'm
sounds
just
dumb.
saying, Aquaman. It's the Spanish word. He's not Hispanic. He's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white dude.
Well,
Well, now
until
he can
Jason
pass
played
as
him.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Now he could pass for Spanish.
Yeah, he could.
Oh yeah,
Especially with the right accent.
so now he's Seabean.
Well,
Now,
I'm reading.
Now he's the real wetback.
Oh, jeez. You just done got us demonetized. Thank you, asshole.
It took him this long to do it, huh?
Oh, wait. We weren't monetized. Hey, we're up to 80 subscribers.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I was thrilled.
Just 920 more, and we could be monetized. And I'd have to start sharing profits with these great.
You damn right you are.
Hear that, viewers? Spread the word. Get your friends in here.
Absolutely.
We
If we were to get monetized and we could take super chats, I would definitely split it with whoever was on that show.
Yeah, me.
So me. Although I don't know, it might cost me money to split the $9.04 check.
Well, it'll go further if you don't cut in LMP because he's rarely here.
Yeah, well, he's out with the family tonight, man. It is Friday night. No one's got a hot date. We're just all talking with each other and grabbing each other's dicks. That's all.
Why you got to make it sexual?
All right. So speaking of which, it's Roxana Kernohan is the one who played the centerfold in Critters 2. She was Lee is the name of the character. She does not have a long history of movies, but she was in Phoenix the Warrior, which is an awesome poster that really looks like it was done by what's his face, Boris. Come on, help me out, Frank.
Vallejo,
yeah. Apparently, she died in a car wreck in what 93 at the age of 32.
Yeah, that would cut your career kind of short.
Yeah. So, but that's the one I was thinking of. What the hell, Firefox? I did not tell you to resize. So, he is Arthur Curry. And when was this character first? 1941? Wow. I didn't realize Aquaman was that old. He's almost as old as Batman. Right? Wasn't Batman 38?
I'm not sure.
No idea.
I never delved that deeply into Bat lore.
How old is Michael Keaton?
He's ancient. 1939. It was Batman. So wow. I did not know Aquaman. But yeah, Aquaman always had he's talked to fish telepathically. Now, without looking, who played Aquaman in the short-lived TV show in the 70s?
James Dean.
Oh, you mean the Super Friends?
No, the live action TV show.
There was a live action Aquaman show in the 70s?
Yes, sir.
How the hell have I never heard of this?
Are you kidding?
I have never heard of this.
Okay, for those who listening who don't know, I'll give you a hint. He also played on Dallas.
Oh, yeah, that's going to clue us right in.
Let's see. He was in a show. Oh, okay. I stand corrected. It was Man from Atlantis. Shit. So it's not Aquaman. That's why you didn't hear about it, because I was wrong.
Because it didn't exist.
Aquaman.
Yes, he was killed off of Dallas, did Man from Atlantis, and then that show went and he came back. Or no, or maybe that was before Dallas. I may have been actually before Dallas. I may be, my drunken recollection may be wrong, and it is. He was on Knots Landing and then in Dallas.
Great clues, Leap.
Oh, I know. Wasn't it awesome? And wait a minute, that's the wrong Dallas. Apparently they brought Dallas back recently. So 78. So it was before Dallas. All right. So never mind. But it was an Aquaman ripoff. So it might as well have been an Aquaman live action.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably, and he swam really oddly.
He swam oddly. What does
Yeah.
that mean? How do you swim oddly?
He would kind of. You're gonna have to look it up.
Dude,
Okay.
I was going
Find
to
a
guess
video.
Patrick Duffy. Damn it, Steve.
Right. Right. Yes, Patrick Duffy. You're right. See, and see, I remembered. It's been 40 years. I mean, come on, man. You know how much beer I've had since then? So, 1977. So the same year we had Star Wars. For anybody keeping score, I was 9 years old.
I was -2.
Well, apparently, if you're almost 40. So, if I'm still around in 10 years,
What do you mean if? You're going to be around forever.
well, I'll be 60 years old. So I don't know if I want to, drive all the way to the Northeast to celebrate his 50th birthday.
Do you want us to go pick you up?
So what month is your birthday?
My birthday is January 2nd.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
No, if I can come up here this weekend, this year. I'm not doing anything else.
I can't make that. I can't make January 2nd, but maybe later in the year. So.
Well, fuck you. I don't need you anyway. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I'll just get old by myself.
You can
Maybe
fly me
what I'll
out.
do
Fly
is-
me out. I'll go.
I'll come up for my birthday and we'll just celebrate it together.
All right. You bring the cake and the booze and some money, and we'll have a party.
Yeah. Because
broke
I got
and
ski
poor and
season. I made it to the gym the other day and I'm still feeling it. And Sunday I have to patrol for 7.5 freaking hours in ski boots. And then I have to do Monday night. I'm going to be dead by Tuesday.
You have to patrol? What do you do?
I was going to say, what does he mean by patrol?
What are you,
Ski patrol.
Batman on the weekends?
Yeah, I'm Batman. No, ski patrol at Perfect North, man. 9 to 3:30.
Do you get a gun?
No, I don't, but I really wish sometimes I could. I mean, sometimes when people are skiing like absolute, I guess it's probably not politically correct, but who cares? But retards.
Retarded.
I really just want to like lasso them and then tie them to a tree. It's like, look, you're going to injure either yourself or someone else. So just stand here for a couple hours till you're cold.
Well, why
I've
don't you
been
get
hit-
like one of those BB guns with the air cartridges?
Yeah. I've been hit twice from behind in the last 18 years, and it's not fun. It's really usually, and although I will say this, I got hit from the front once by a fellow ski patroller ran into me flying down the slope. How both of us didn't get injured seriously, I do not know. I had bruising across my chest on my collarbone, and he hit my helmet. Was a bit dazed. I lost it. One of my skis went downhill. That was about the only thing. I mean, I'm serious because a few years before that, 2 ski instructors hit each other and they both went to the hospital by helicopter. But this other fellow ski patroller and I, we were bruised, but that was it. Unbelievable.
Wow. Did
Right
your dick
underneath
still work?
Huh?
Did your dick still work?
Mine was fine, but his hit my knee. So that was the first thing he did is he skied down and peed to make sure there wasn't any blood in it. Yeah.
He peed on you? What?
He's about 5'11", and he was about probably 2 something at the time, and I was close to 200, but I was a little lighter than I am now. I mean, if he hit me now, he would have been hurting. But it was just the perfect collision. We hit just perfectly. I had some bruising, and that was it. So, but the ski instructors who hit each other, one had a broken femur, both were unconscious. One had a dislocated collarbone and broken clavicle. I mean, it was serious. But
broken femur. There's like nothing worse than that.
Yeah, I was the last patient. I had the last patient at the end of last season. Last incident, broken femur on the beginner hill.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I could not believe it. We
sucked.
Well, we were tending see, it got warm and there was mud and crap at the end of the run, and we were tending with this young lady who learned the hard way that if you don't stop before the snow stops, your skis will hit the mud and stop dead. We were putting her on a backboard because she had passed out and was having back pain. And I hear this scream uphill behind us, and I was just holding her feet. And I'm like, well, I'll go check on that. I mean, this guy was screaming. And as soon as I saw the bulge in his, mid thigh, mid leg, upper leg, I was like, oh, crap. Did my assessment, said it's a femur. We got him on the traction splint and all that stuff. Ambulance had shown up for the young lady. She was refusing. She had gained consciousness and refused to go on the ambulance. And I was like, great. It's my ambulance now, bitches. And we basically brought the sled in, because it was like in the last hour and a half of the season. So all the maintenance guys are standing around wanting to shut everything down. I had all the stuff I needed in like minutes, brought him down. And this was a big guy. He was like 250. And we just picked him up, put him in the back of the ambulance. And then I told him what was going on. And the ambulance driver pulled me aside and he said, are you sure it's a femur? I said, well, there is a significant bulge mid upper leg. I said, I palpated below. There's nothing wrong with the knee. I palpated above. Hip and pelvis are clear. And he's like, shit, it's a femur.
So you want to go touch it yourself?
Yeah, right. Well, the problem with the femur is if you rip your arteries, you can bleed to death very quickly internally.
I have never skiing.
It is a very serious injury. And off they went, hit the lights, hit the siren, and bam, they were gone. And we got confirmation that, and once we got the traction splint on them and the adrenaline was pumping, the pain subsided, and the guy was asking, so do you think, this is what, a day or two? I said, look, I hope I'm wrong, but if it's a femur, it might be 6 months. You're going to have to learn to walk again. It's the
I've heard femur, I've heard femur break is like more painful than childbirth.
Yeah, it is the biggest bone in the body. So it's biggest and thickest and longest, and it takes a serious
thickest and longest.
Yeah. It's the biggest dickest of the body.
biggest.
I posted that scene to the WCBS fan page too.
Yeah.
You did? When?
Yeah. Well, it's been a while.
Oh, okay.
It's a made-up name. No one's named Biggest Dickus. What do you mean? My best friend in Rome is named Biggest Dickus. Oh, that is a great scene. Actually, I like the one that's more pertinent now is the one where the guy wants to be a woman. It's like, you can't be a woman. You don't have a womb. Yeah, I want to have a child. You can't have a child.
Like, where's it going to gestate though? You going to put it in a box?
Yeah, right. So you know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, because what's it called? I had been seeing like that scene and a couple of scenes, but they had finally put on Netflix, so I finally saw the whole movie. And I would say my favorite scene though was the stoning scene. Like every time he says Jehovah, they start trying to throw the rocks.
Yeah, but you haven't seen the act. There is a scene that is not safe for YouTube. It's a full Monty with Graham Chapman. So
George Harrison pretty much paid for that whole movie himself because he wanted to see it that badly.
Yeah, was it $4 million? I think he gave.
I think so. Eric Idle says it's still the most anyone's ever paid for a movie ticket.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is true, and that is what I think is funny about that movie. So you like the scene with the stoning. You said Tap and Die. So that movie, when it started, it played in the U.S. And there's a clip of John Cleese talking about this somewhere on YouTube. I've seen this interview more than once. There were protests in New York, and so John said, he heard that, there's protesters that, protesting the movie, and he thought, oh, is it, a bunch of fundamentalist Christians? He said, no, it's a bunch of Jews, the Orthodox Jews. He said, what? Why would Orthodox Jews, it's a parody, it's spoof about life of Christ. He said, well, apparently in the scene of the stoning, the costume is too accurate. And it's actually the Orthodox Jews consider it blasphemy for you to be dressed up as a priest.
Oh my God.
Right. So it's a scene about blasphemy, and it's considered blasphemous for him to be dressed because it's too accurate.
Oh my God.
Accurate. Right. He's like, what? Well, it's kind of, true to life. That scene is very true to life on accident.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in my view, That and Dogma are probably the two best movies on religious. One being a parody and the other one being satire.
Mm-hmm.
So I will let the listeners at home figure out which is which. All right.
Wait.
So that all we can say about Aquaman is it looks like it might be good.
Yeah,
I
pretty
hope
much.
it's good.
When's
did
it
you
come
see
out?
Did you see the video of him, Jason Momoa, doing the haka at the premiere?
I saw a little bit of it, not all of it.
That was pretty cool.
I saw that on Twitter, and it said somebody is, Jason is being disrespectful to the Haka or something like that. I think somebody took it the wrong way. Yeah, right.
Bullshit.
That's when I was
hell
like,
yeah.
there's no way in freaking hell that's accurate, you moron. Some moronic NPC behind a keyboard going, oh my God, I'm offended because Jason Momoa is not offended. I'll be offended for him. The poor man doesn't understand that he's being a part of the white supremacists, so he has to be I'll be offended for him and I'll stand up for him because he's not aware enough to stand up for himself.
Oh man, all these people need to be shot.
Oh.
Hey, I've got the ammo.
No, it's going to get worse. Trust me. It's going to get better eventually, but it'll get a lot worse first.
That's usually how it goes.
All right. So I know we talked about Spider-Man. Now, there's another point that I don't think we talked about. Tabandai, did you have any entertainment BS you wanted to talk about?
No, not really. Not this time, because I really couldn't find anything, or really anything that got my interest.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there is one thing I won't talk about. It ain't important. Never mind.
Just fucking do it.
Come on.
No.
Put your balls on and do it.
All right. Okay, so apparently the anime, the High School of the Dead, or / manga, for sure is canceled because the brother, the dude who drew the drawing and the artist, since his brother died, they're not going to not continue it because was like the passion project between both of them. So he's not going to do it without his brother. And a lot of fans, apparently in the West, were kept asking about it. And he finally came out clean and said, no, I can't do it because I don't have my brother with me anymore. And that kind of sucks because I liked it. It was fine. And it kind of got me in the anime and all that shit. But thanks to anime, I kind of wanted to start writing books and stuff about that. That's kind of where it started for me. But it does suck that something, people like isn't for sure when you kind of know that it's not going to continue. It's not going to, you know what I mean? That's all.
Well, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
However, luckily there are like 400 kajillion other manga and anime out there to get into.
Yeah, that don't mean they're all good, interesting. There's probably more shitty ones than there are actual decent ones.
Well, it's up to you to find the good ones.
I am not going down there. I don't want to accidentally find like a hentai.
Well, get LMP to set you up with something.
LMP doesn't know shit. Like, I'll ask him, like, hey, have you seen this one? No, I haven't seen that one. Well, have you seen this one? Like, no. I'm like, aren't you the weeaboo? You're supposed to have seen more than me. Yeah, how is it I've seen more than you?
Aren't you the weeaboo king?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's run through a few of the ones that I know about. Have you seen Trigun?
Yes.
Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
Samurai Champloo?
Yeah, yes.
Afro Samurai?
Have not seen that one.
That's a good one.
That's sure it is. I've heard about it.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one, so check that out. Rurouni Kenshin.
Wait, say that again?
Rurouni Kenshin.
What's that one about?
Hang on. Hello, Adam, superfan Adam Shawan.
I'm the super fan. What's he talking about?
All right, okay, well. Adam Shahan is here.
Well, look it up. It also goes under Samurai X.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, I've seen a few episodes. I haven't gotten that far into it.
Don't bother with like the 4th and 5th seasons, but the first 3 are really good.
The first 3, you said?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right.
Then. After that, it kind of goes off the rails.
Okay.
But that's a good one. I always really enjoyed that one. And okay, if you want something really crazy and fun, check out Excel Saga.
Oh, I fucking love Excel Saga.
Okay, good. That was fucking brilliant.
I actually found the first volume manga at Half Price Books clearance sale.
Yep.
I snatched that bitch up as soon as I saw it.
Have you seen the anime?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, it's so fucking great.
Yeah, like a professor of mine told me about it, and I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I loved it. Like, I just love watching the first episode. Sometimes I'll just watch that one. When she gets killed, like in the first 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever,
Yeah,
she dies like
killed
3 times.
3 times in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
And I love how the whole fucking Pedro subplot turns into Dragon Ball.
Damn, that is a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. Or go on to there's a site called Toonova. And there's like tons of like old 70s and 80s and 90s cartoons on there, like entire series and new stuff as well. Like,
well, actually, where I go is it's a site called watchcartoonsonline.com. That's where I go. I find a bunch of stuff there. That's the website I use.
I was turned on to Toonova, and they've got so much obscure shit in there. It's great. But, I recommend the original Voltron series. Like
I've been wanting to watch the original.
Yeah, that was really good stuff back in the day.
I think I saw a few episodes. I remember watching one episode, and I always remember the lions when they would come out of their little, wherever they go, their little areas, and I don't remember like the story or anything like that. Because I really didn't watch. I mean, I remember watching like Dragon Ball and like Sailor Moon and all that, but just sort of like it was sort of like on in the background, and I was playing with toys or something. So I don't remember everything.
But yeah, Toonova is great. You can watch the original GoBots and Transformers and Voltron and all the great old shit I used to watch when I was a kid in the 80s. I was watching Adventure Time on there. I forget what season I left off at. I kind of got interrupted, but I was watching that for a while.
I remember Adventure Time. Well, I remember my kids watching Adventure Time, I should say. Because I'm older than dirt.
Classic Voltron had the best fucking opening theme. That was so badass.
You ever watch Star Blazers?
Star Blazers. I might have. It's not ringing any bells right now.
That was
back in the day. I was watching
Yamato, I think is what.
Yeah, that's what it is. The space battleship Yamato.
Yeah, I never saw that one then. But no, back in the day, I was watching shit like friggin' Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like.
See, LMP, if you would have been here, we've been talking about anime now.
We've been talking about weeaboos for 20 minutes if he was here.
But he would have went on his rant. Yeah, I'm just tired of all this SJW stuff, man.
Yeah. He would have talked for about 15 minutes to make a point. And anyway, that's why I don't like Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
So, we got anything else?
I got nothing else.
Mr. Linus?
The only thing that we didn't really talk about was Venom 2.
There wasn't much to say.
I didn't know we were talking about it. Well, I thought you were going to talk about the House of a Thousand Corpses thing or whatever, the reboot or whatever.
Oh shit, we forgot about that. But who really gives a shit, right? Like for some reason they retconned the end of the Devil's Rejects, so now the 3 killers are somehow still alive for one more movie. And it's just Rob Zombie, like, does anybody still remember me, please? Anybody? Come on, guys.
The what?
Hello? Yeah.
The what?
It's like, nobody cares, Rob Zombie. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, David Applegate says Inuyasha. That was a good show. Is that still going on?
No, it's over.
Oh, okay, because when I was into it back in the day, it was still going on. It's like, damn, this is a long show.
Yeah, because when I got into it, it was probably like, it had been over for years, and I think I barely saw it 2 years ago. and I watched the whole thing on Hulu. Or no, I watched it on Netflix because and then I finished it off on Hulu. And then I went and bought the movies to watch the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting a tattoo of it, one of the characters, because I'm a fucking weeaboo that way.
Lame. I got pre-wife to watch Show Bits, and she loved that. But that's like a rom-com kind of thing.
Fucking Show Bits, man. Don't talk about... because I was watching, I'm like, this is my early days of watching anime. I'm like, I'm watching it because, I'm just trying to try anything out. But I never even finished it because I thought this is just ridiculous. So I never finished it.
It was funny and charming. Okay,
it had its moments, but whatever.
Yeah, it definitely had its moments.
I mean, how do you turn them on? Just grab them by the pussy, basically.
Well, just that one. Just Chi was the one you turn on like that. Everything else, all the other ones, the switch was in their ear thing. Yeah, she was special.
Yeah, she was special, right?
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, there wasn't really anything else to say about Venom aside from what we already talked about. There's much like Toxic Avenger, nothing's really been confirmed except Woody Harrelson as Carnage and maybe Spider-Man and probably not Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Well, not Tom Holland? Is that what we're going to call him?
How can it not be Tom Holland?
Sony is going to cast somebody else to play Spider-Man in their movies.
Oh. You think they'll call it the Spectacular Spider-Man? Since the first time it was the Amazing Spider-Man, and then it was, it was Spider-Man at first. Then they made it Amazing Spider-Man. You'll think they'll call the new set of movies Spectacular Spider-Man?
I don't even care anymore.
Is there a Spectacular Spider-Man comic?
Yeah, there was.
Well, so Tom Holland's going to be in the Sony movies that are semi-tied in the MCU, and then somebody else is going to be in the Spider-Man and the Venom series kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep. Yeah. Tom Holland is in the MCU Spider-Man movies in conjunction with Sony, and theoretically somebody else is going to be in the Sony Spider-Man movies, which are not affiliated with the MCU at all.
All right. So that means that the Amazing Spider-Man is essentially an MCU canon, as it were. Which makes sense since he showed up in Avengers and Infinity War.
Amazing? No, that was strictly Sony. That was before the whole...
Not Amazing. Did I say Amazing?
Yes, you did.
Okay, sorry. The Tom Holland, with the Homecoming, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So they're going to have two parallel Spider-Mans. They're going to have the Home series, and they're going to have the Spider-Verse series, basically.
Yes. Theoretically.
God, this is so dumb.
Nothing's been announced yet. But yeah, this is Sony being greedy and stupid again.
People are going to be so confused.
It's like they've never done, aside from the marginal success of Venom, they've never done anything successful with the Spider-Man series since Sam Raimi left.
Right.
Because they got greedy and stupid and tried to take over the creative process.
Right.
And it's just been downhill ever since. And it's like everybody wants them to just give it up and they won't do it.
I told LMP we were talking about anime.
Is he pissed?
He's like, oh shit.
Is he still out with the family? I mean,
I don't know. Probably.
Be back. I mean, it's been an hour and a half since we started this.
He ain't coming.
Yeah,
since we done started this here thing into today. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's put a fork in it. We're done.
All right. Yeah, I'm getting cold too. All right. So the last order of business is the Hall of Fame. And I don't know. I have a bunch of bookmark searches from months and months ago. So I have no idea how I've got this young lady in my list, but it doesn't matter. She's from Russia. Her name is Marina Visconti, I guess is how you say her last name. I don't know why she's from Russia yet has an Italian last name. But she's 5'3", 23 years of age from Stavropol, Russia. Her full name is Victoria Bondorko. So there we go. That's not so Italian sounding. And she's this week's Hall of Fame. So look her up. We'll have her name in the description. Actually, I think the name is actually in the description. She'll be in the thumbnail when I finally finish it, if I'm sober enough to even figure out how to make work Photoshop at this point. I know people are going to say he only had one beer. It was 16% and on an empty stomach. So fuck you.
Damn.
Well, I'm a bit of a lightweight. I'm not a lush.
You're a lightweight?
I don't drink that much, man.
Why not?
Are you eating on the air?
I'm munching on ice cubes because I'm
God
drinking
damn it.
Monster as well as drinking.
All right,
Which
so
is
while you're
probably not
doing
a good
that,
combination.
okay, while you're doing that, everybody listening, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining.
Share it, tell your friends, get some people in here. We want to, grow the show, grow the channel. We want to, build it up.
Yep.
We're never going to compete with the main show, obviously, but we want to get our voices out there and get some butts in the seats.
Yep. We have been, this started as a show about the show. And I think in many ways, almost a year ago, we started kind of doing our own thing and we just kind of got sidetracked. And I really, we can have Steph on here again too. Stephanie, whatever her last name is, I forget. But anyway, and we'll talk about more than Star Wars. We do, unlike the main show, we cover more than Star Wars because they're in a box. If they don't cover Star Wars, people get pissed off.
Yep.
And we talk
That's
about
why they're shitty fans. We're the real fans.
At this point.
And we got to get Oggs back on here. My God. I mean, isn't he graduating high school this year?
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to talk to this Oggs guy, see if he became president yet.
Yeah.
I asked him if he wanted to join us for the watch party next week, but he says he's going to be off doing family stuff, so that's out.
So that's a lie.
Yep.
Who goes out with their family?
Yeah.
Well,
that's
it's right
me, I
before Christmas.
Right. And anybody who's listening at work, do not look up pictures of Marina at work. She is not work safe, especially if you put nude in the request.
Do it.
What if we type in her name, but then after that it says with clothes on?
Yeah.
Will that work?
It is in the description because I put it in there quite a while ago and it refreshed. But yeah, Oggs for president. It'd be nice to have you back on the show. I don't even know if he listens to the main show. I think he's kind of got serious with studies.
He popped up in the group show an episode yesterday, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't listen to yesterday's episode.
I don't know if it was the main show. It was the main show because Nick called him out.
Okay. Yeah, when I listen, quite often I'm listening while I'm driving and stuff like that. So I don't even see the chat. So because I'm too busy keeping my eyes on the road. All right, gentlemen. Anything else before we close this out?
Nope, I don't think so.
All right. I
Buy
did
lots of ammo.
Buy lots of ammo. Yeah, they don't sell T-shirts anymore, so we can't say buy a T-shirt like we used to. And I did put a link in the description to my channel if anyone else wants it. All 4 people that are listening. I don't think anybody's come in since I did that. Check us out over there. And I'm on Brainmuffin on Twitter as well. So, all right. Is that it? Are we really done?
We were really done.
We announced the Hall of Fame and
Let's blow our cookies.
maybe someday we'll get Tommy Callahan back on the show as well. All right. So this has been episode 61 of the Fan Cast. Can't believe we've been at this over a year. I am Brainmuffin, also known as Brian Lape, the lifting nerd. With me has been Tap and Die.
Buy ammo.
Buy ammo. And Reality's Frank, close us out and say goodnight.
Oh, hi, doggy.
Did? All right. Good night, folks. See you next week. Next week is the watch party for the holiday special. And
Star Wars holiday special.
And make sure you're drunk. Goodbye. And it'll be on YouTube. And the holiday specials on YouTube, so everybody can join. Goodbye.
Peace.